Hey everyone, Nick at Dad the Prof here. Welcome to the channel. Welcome to this video. I hope you've been doing well and that you've been enjoying time with your families, doing whatever you do for fun and fulfillment. I want to talk to you a little bit about today about the events of Saturday, July 13th, 2024, which was this past weekend. Of course, this was the attempted assassination of former President Trump when he was at his campaign rally in Pennsylvania. And I was watching the news. It was riveting, and we were really concerned about the former president and others. You know, it was a terrible thing to be witnessing there live on TV. And our kids were with us as well as we were watching it. And we were just, my wife and I, we were just gathering information about this significant event that occurred. And the kids, of course, were with us as well, just kind of hanging out. And we just watched the scene over and over again and just amazed at how it is that he was so fortunate and lucky to escape serious injury. It's sad that someone did die. And a couple others were seriously hurt, of course. But we were watching the news for a good hour and a half. The time flew by. And all the while, my kids, I've got a middle schooler and two kids in elementary school, we were all watching it. And it got to the point where we were probably about an hour and a half into it, and my wife and I looked at one another and we were like, maybe we shouldn't be watching this so much for the sake of the children. Because they started asking questions about what is assassination, what does this mean, is President Trump okay, and all this, and we found ourselves starting to go, to try to figure out like how are we going to try to frame what's going on here for them to best understand, and also so that they're not scared for their own safety. So then we were like, well, let's flip it over to, we put The Descendants on or something. I don't know. Some other movie, Willy Wonka. I'm not sure which one we put on, but something that was kind of kid friendly to lighten the mood and say, okay, let's go ahead and let's carry on with some other stuff. Later that evening, after we got the kids to bed, my two elementary school kids actually said that they were scared. And my wife and I both tried to ask, well, why are you scared? What are you afraid of? We live in a nice, secure house, and Mom and I are here, and we're not going to let anything happen to you. And they really couldn't put a finger on exactly what they were scared of. They just said they were scared. And then we said, are you scared because of President Trump almost getting shot? Yeah, I am. And so it made us realize, wow, we have a really important role to play in our kids' lives, so that we understand that we are the ones that are shepherding the kids through experiences like this. And although at the time they were watching it and didn't seem impacted, after the fact, apparently some stuff got in at a deeper level for them that was making them concerned for their own safety. And so we just need to navigate that. I hope that you and your family navigated that troubling news fine as well. So that's what happened last weekend. And as it turned out, we wound up actually as a family going to the Lyndon Baines Johnson Presidential Library in Austin, Texas on this past Wednesday, the 17th, July 17th. And that was a great experience. I'd been there once, but only in the lobby. Didn't pay to get in to look at anything. But so it was in effect the first time for me and the first time for the whole family. And it was just a great experience for the kids. They ate it up. They loved it. My youngest is going into second grade as of now. And I always kind of wonder when it comes to, museums and these types of things, how well received it's going to be. And he looked like he was interested the whole time. So it was really cool. So the LBJ library was great. It was compelling. They've really done an awesome job with that. Of course, it's been around for decades. They had interactive exhibits. They had an amazing number of tangible historical artifacts. You can look at LBJ's hat. You can see the china that Lady Bird Johnson, the first lady, commissioned to be developed for the White House, among a ton of other things. And it was a really neat thing. And yeah, my middle schooler was totally into it. My soon to be fourth grader was enjoying it as well, as well as my soon to be second grader. So it was a really great experience. But this really, I mean, this is very fulfilling and educational, but it also underscored the fact that we need to keep our kids cognitively active. We need to keep them thinking about things and experiencing things just in itself, but also during the summertime, it's important because there is some research out there that indicates kids can lose a little bit some of their educational gains they've had the previous academic year. So basically, what these studies will do is they'll test kids on academic achievement and capabilities at the end of the school year in May, typically. The summer will go by, and then the kids will be reassessed again when school starts back up after the summer's over, like in August. And they'll compare the two data points on, whatever topic that they were measured on, whether it's math or, literacy or stuff like that. And what the studies show is a little bit of a drop off from the end of the school year to the beginning of the next school year, just over a matter of a few months of summer. However, one thing that research indicates is that you can maintain the educational gains that kids have gotten through the school year by having an active summertime where you're doing interactive things with the kids, right? So you're going places, doing things, and so on. So what I wanted to do is just give you a couple of things that have been suggested to me over the years that our family has done in the summertime without going bankrupt, to keep kids engaged and active, and also to try to preserve those educational gains that they worked so hard to achieve throughout the previous school year. One of them is visit museums. Learn about people, learn about places, learn about things that are new. Go to these places, see these things, talk to the people involved if possible. Curators at museums, the guides, they're great sources of information. Read books, get exposure to new and interesting ways of thinking about things. Use your imagination, be creative. Contemplate the plot of the story. Why did that character react that way? What do you think this character is going to do next? How would you feel if that happened to you? Or gee, what do you think is the best thing to do in this situation? Keep the kids physically active. Go to parks, have them ride bikes. I know you're going to have to peel the electronic technology away from them. I call it digital Adderall. The phones and the iPads and the Nintendo Switches and everything else. But go to parks, go to playgrounds, play sports, play along with them, of course. Do other things that encourage movement and being physically active. And encourage engagement with art and music. That's so important for creativity and imagination. Engage them with projects, pitch in with them, and then, start doing some drawing or some coloring maybe of your own, some painting. If you have clay, then you can, or Play-Doh, you can screw around with that a little bit. And then from there, kind of let them take it from there, and then just kind of peel away and just watch them from afar and watch them go. Hopefully they'll stay with it. But sometimes if they kind of go, I don't know what to do next, hop back in and maybe give some encouragement and try to keep them motivated to try, to use that imagination more. So that'll further increase skill level for creativity, imagination, music, learn an instrument. That'll help increase psychomotor skills, as well as, help with understanding musical pitch and just the beauty of making sounds, right? So 2 things I wanted to wrap up that I learned from this past week. One of them is context is so important. Our link with the past will never end. We are here because stuff has happened previously, obviously. So our link with the past will never end. Understand it as best as possible so that you can understand your place in the present. I've spoken about this in other videos as well. This helps you understand how you'll impact people in the future also. How is it that we're impacting future generations? When we were at the LBJ Museum, we talked about, man, in 1965 that happened. I wonder if they knew that in 2025, people like us would be hanging out, learning about all these things that happened. So we're the current actors, and we're setting the stage for people later on, um, years from now, decades from now. Certainly in your own family, definitely in broader society. So understand context and how you fit in it, how you're enjoying the past, how you're creating the future with doing what you're doing now. The other thing is, this may come out of left field, but stay with me on it. Lean into discomfort. There's going to be stuff that's uncomfortable that's totally worth doing. Again, I've got 3 kids, and sometimes it's kind of challenging keeping everyone in good shape when we do things, and it's worth the effort. So lean into discomfort. Growing and learning comes when we do things where we bump up against our comfort zones. Whether the comfort zones are physical in nature, gee, it's too hot outside, I'm sweating, or distance, it's too long to drive, or gee, that doesn't seem like it's far enough away to be important. It's right next to us for some reason. Maybe that makes it unimportant somehow. I would argue against that, but whether it's physical comfort or geographic distance away from a place, lean into the discomfort and overcome it so that you can enjoy something. Psychological comfort as well. I'm not into that topic. I don't like museums. I don't like art. I don't like the sport. Try it. You may like it. If nothing else, try it for the sake of modeling to your kids what it looks like to try something brand new. We want our kids to be exploration oriented and creative, and we model that as parents. Or maybe discomfort could be financial. Gee, we don't really have the money for going to the zoo this week. What do? Should we go anyway? Maybe we can shift some money around to prioritize this, and maybe not do something else to offset it. But what's the admission cost? The running joke I have with my wife is, gee, I can get a discount if I'm a military veteran, first responder sometimes. I'm not either of those, by the way. But usually I'll say, do you have an educator discount? And, I don't tell them as a professor. I just say educator discount. And most of the time, just right there, places will say, no, we don't. I'm sorry. We wish we did. And it's like, why don't you tell your manager that? But the financial part, just lean into it. Try to offset the cost with something else, or go for low cost things. Maybe you can find coupons and other types of deals. I know there are plenty of those types of things on the internet where you can get discounted rates. So that may be a point of discomfort, the financial part, but there's going to be so much benefit from it for your kids. So take a chance, give something new a try. You just might like that thing that you try, and just enjoy it. And if you don't like it, then no one says you have to do it again. But again, you getting out of your comfort zone communicates to your kids, hey, this is what it looks like to try, or to experience, or to give something a chance. And that's so important in helping your kids be curious, creative, and discovery oriented throughout their lives. So you'll definitely learn something. Maybe you'll learn new, awesome stuff that you pursue more. Maybe you'll learn, gee, I don't like that after all, but I gave it a shot and I'm glad I did learn something, but it's just not for me. That's totally allowed as well, of course. So anyway, I hope you've enjoyed this. If you have any comments, feel free to comment. Certainly like and subscribe if you're feeling the channel. And I wish you blessings. I'll see you next time.